And now it is time to get started. Hey, welcome to AtTheTrack.live. I am Coach James. I am the creator of and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics. What is All About Aerodynamics? Glad you asked, even if you didn't ask. All About Aerodynamics is a science program where I use Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about a range of science and physics related topics, including but not limited to aerodynamics. Get it right there. There we go. Drag, lift, Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motion, kinetic energy, potential energy, elastic force. So just a range of science topics we go through after we have covered all of the science topics and we have conducted experiments to drive home those concepts. Then and only then do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and each student has the opportunity to select a Hot Wheels car they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything they've learned in the class. Once they have selected their cars, they weigh their cars, they test the speed of their cars, they check the year the car was manufactured, the materials the car is made from. All of the information that they can observe, they document in a spreadsheet, and then all that's left to do is race the cars. So they set up a 1/64th scale quarter-mile drag strip and race the cars, and they observe how did their cars perform. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they select that car again, or would they make a different choice based on everything that they have learned in the class? In the end, we have fun with Hot Wheels cars, and we learn science. What could be better? If you would like more information about our science program, All About Aerodynamics, all you have to do is go to our website, AAAerodynamics.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at AAAerodynamics, and all of the information you need to contact me is right there in the bio, and we can discuss how to bring our program to your school, or your organization, or your special event. But this is not all about aerodynamics. This is all about Aerodynamics presents At the Track Live. So what is At the Track Live? Well, before I can bring in those 400 cars for the students to choose from, I have to make sure that I have them organized and cataloged, and I have pictures of the cars and shoot a little video, all of that. I have to make sure I have that so that I can put the cars back in the right place after the students use them and then have them ready to go for the next group. But also, I buy a lot of Hot Wheels cars every time I go into a store. Check those aisles, see a Hot Wheels car that I like, that I think students would like, I pick it up. But until I've cataloged the cars, I can't put them in the fleet. I can't do anything with them. So they go into storage. Well, At the Track Live gives me an opportunity to go into storage, get some of those cars, take them out, crack them open, get my picture, get my video, do a little review, and then, since the track is already set up, might as well have a little tournament. So that's what we do. Get cars out of storage, open those up. I document what I need to document. They're now entered into the fleet, and once they're entered into the fleet, then they're available for the students to choose from. But wait, there's more. We are going to race the new cars that are introduced. We're going to see which car is the fastest, but you have the opportunity to participate. All you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live. When you do that, you will be taken to a web page that has 3 options. One is the YouTube stream link, one is the Twitch stream link, which you don't need because you're already here. Third link is the most important. That is the link that says choose your car. If you select that option, you will be taken to this page. And on this page, all of the cars that are currently in the All About Aerodynamics At the Track Live fleet are listed, although it's a little different now because I broke this page up. We used to have all, like right now in the fleet, there are 1,000 29 cars. And I used to have 1,000 cars listed on this page. And it was a situation that was probably it was a lot of images to have on one page, first thing. But for some people who may have had a slower internet connection or something, there were a lot of images to load, and so it probably slowed down the loading of their pages. So what I did is I separated the pages and the cars and put about 200 cars on each page. So now, as you go through, when you get to the end, 200 cars, then boom, you click over, you go to the next page. There's a little page counter at the top, so you can just jump around. But whether it's separated over 6 pages or whether it's one long page, there are over 1,000 different Hot Wheels cars to choose from. There are cars from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, some that were released very recently. We have trucks, we have character cars, we have race cars, we have cars that are hard to explain. We have this Oldsmobile right here, the only one on these big donk wheels. We've got lowriders, we've got hypercars, supercars, we've got whatever this is, the Aeropod, we've got these futuristic space trucks. Any kind of Hot Wheels car you can think of, we have some. If we don't have that exact car, we have some version of that car, and we are always looking to find the next fastest car. And if you see a car that you think is faster than any of the cars that I've introduced or that some other people have picked, all you have to do is find the car you want. Let's say it is this Volkswagen Käfer Racer. Maybe it's this one. Maybe this is the car, for whatever reason you think this is going to be the car. That's the one. Then you can click on it. You can see from the reflection if it's a metal body on a plastic base or a plastic body on a metal base, or sometimes in the case of some of our older cars, it's metal on metal. And if this is the car that you want, this Käfer Racer, all you have to do is take this number, in this case 322, drop that in the chat. I will pull that car, and just like that, you are entered into today's tournament. And if you happen to win today's tournament, you will have the opportunity to take on our fastest in fleet car. And our fastest in fleet car is, and has been for the past few weeks, it has been this car, the BlitzSpeeder. The BlitzSpeeder is back. It is in its 4th run as fastest in fleet, our fastest in fleet car. Let me get it in focus, that would help. There we go. And the BlitzSpeeder was brought back by Christopher. He wanted to see it race a few weeks back, and it came in, and it has been one of the fastest, most dominant cars that we've ever had on the track. And every Wednesday we have Wind Tunnel Wednesday, where we take the Funtech Labs 1/64th scale wind tunnel, the Winsible, and we put the cars into that, and we are able to take a look at their aerodynamic profiles, and we get to see how drag is likely to impact a particular car. And with the BlitzSpeeder, what we see is it's got a fantastic aerodynamic profile. The air comes in, it hits the front of the car, and moves right up over the hood, up to the windshield, to the roof line, and then right across the back where it interacts with this wing, and then tails away from the car. What we don't see with the BlitzSpeeder is that airflow being disrupted as it flows over the body of the car. With other cars, there's separation of the airflow, and there's different objects. Usually it's the windshield. For most cars, the windshield is not at this low of an angle. So the air hits the windshield, goes up to the roof, and then once it gets about midway across the roof, it kind of breaks away from the body of the car, which when that airflow separation occurs, that creates more drag, and ultimately that works to slow down the car's forward momentum. By limiting the impact of drag, the BlitzSpeeder is able to keep its speed up for longer on the track, and it shows because it beats cars pretty handily. And that has been what we've seen with this car. Now, I said it's its 4th time as champion, which means 3 other times it's been beaten. So, it can be beaten. It's just kind of rare. There are a few cars that have beaten it, but the Gazella R, the Dogfighter, and the I believe it was that Mercedes-Benz 500e beat it. So it's been dominant, but it's also been beaten. And the odds are that out of 1,029, well, take away this one, 1,028 other cars, odds are that there's another one in there that can beat this one. And one of the cars that we've got, hey, Roughshod, one of the cars that we've got, matter of fact, Roughshod's pick, has a very kind of similar feel to the BlitzSpeeder. And I don't think I've ever seen it race on the track. So it's going to be very interesting today to see if we can find a car to beat the BlitzSpeeder. But I guess really you got to start off with just being competitive with the BlitzSpeeder, because it beats cars by such a big margin that it is like, first of all, let's just get close. Let's get in the ballpark before we start talking about beating it. But a good step towards that is having a really good aerodynamic profile, because if you can't reduce the drag to the same degree that the BlitzSpeeder does, it's gonna hurt your chances. So all you have to do, go to AtTheTrack.live, select choose your car, find the car, put the number of the car into the chat, and I will pull that car, and that's that. Now, I have I'm supposed to just be taking cars out of storage to sort of work through the backlog of cars, but I keep going to the store, and if I see cars I haven't seen before, I buy them. So I've got a bag here that has a bunch of cars that I just picked up. And then I picked up I just grabbed a handful of cars out of the storage bin. So I'm going to try and pace myself and start off with some of the cars from the storage bin, because a lot of times they end up being duplicates, and there is no room in the fleet for duplicates. So let's start off, check this one. This 65 Mustang 2+2 Fastback. Let's go ahead and see 65 Mustang, 65 Mustang. We have 67s, 66. All right, 65. We have a Mercury Comet Cyclone, a Mustang convertible. We have a Mustang Fastback. Let's take a look. It's car number 415. See if it's the same. Usually, if a car has different wheels, there needs to be something different about the car for me to put in a duplicate these days. Let's see, 415. That'd probably be on page 3. 415 is this one. This Mustang Fastback. All right, let's see. What am I looking at here? So the wheels are different, and that seems to be about it. But that's actually enough. Because except when they're faster than ever wheels, or if they're disc wheels, or if they're the off-road wheels, I'm not really sure that there's a difference between just regular Hot Wheels which these are, And same on this car. There's a little design difference, but I don't know if there's any actual mechanical difference or physical difference that would differentiate one from the other. But I think they're just different enough that we're going to go ahead and put this this other 65 Mustang 2+2 Fastback in there. And I don't even know if I'm saying that, but what's the 2+2? But either way, it's going in. So let's go ahead and crack this open, take a look, see what we got. Mustang. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another reason why this is going in. It's got this. It's got this best for track designation. So see, that's the thing. Still haven't been able to figure out if this actually means anything. They say best for track, and then we'll see on the bottom, it'll have a little, there's a little symbol, usually on these best for track cars. This one, yeah, this one has one. We'll take a look. We'll crack it open. All right, so the BlitzSpeeder, in terms of weight, comes in, I think it's 32.4 grams, if I remember correctly. Yep. BlitzSpeeder is at 32.4 grams. This Mustang, 65 Mustang, so on the bottom it doesn't have the 2+2, it just Mustang Fastback. Weighs in at 36.1 grams. So let's take a look at this. And right here, you can see the little best for track symbol right there on the car. Don't know what, I just don't know what it means, and I haven't been able to find any information online. It may just be a marketing gimmick, I don't know, but this is a good looking car. Classic car right here. And get it in focus. I'll go ahead and get my video, but let me turn it back the right way. Nice metal flake paint job coming in. Got the racing stripes. I like that. And this is going to be car number 1030. 1030 cars in the fleet. We are, not every once in a while, I have the cars organized in these cases, and sometimes when I'm looking through, it's a lot of cars. It's a lot of cars. But it also means there's a lot of race combinations, and a lot of race combinations that haven't happened yet. Mustang, I'll just put 2+2 so it doesn't get confused with the other. Fastback. And for the old school Mustangs, the back end is flat. We were talking about how the BlitzSpeeder has that low angle on the windshield. Obviously, this one is a real car and traditional, so it's got the standard angle on the windshield, and with that frontal area with the grille. Is it going to be the most aerodynamic car? No, not by the standards of the cars that we have racing today. But that doesn't mean that it can't do well on the track, especially with this best for track, this mysterious best for track classification. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means, but we're going to see if it helps. Maybe it will. That is why we race the cars, because you just never know. And with this many cars, all right, let's get this one. Boom. It is now in the fleet. We have our 1030th car, but yeah, you got to just race the cars, because when you find one that is dominant out of the blue, then you can kind of run more races. And essentially what I tell the students is what we're doing is the experiment part is racing the cars. And that's the actual fun part. You have your hypothesis, your idea that you came up with based on everything that you've observed, the research that you've done, and you've decided that you think this car is going to be faster than these other cars for some reason. And then we get to put it to the test on the track. And what we find out sometimes is the car that we least expected to do well ends up in the finals. Sometimes the car we least expected to do well ends up as our fastest in fleet car, which has been the case with a few of the past winners. But we've got this one. We've got the Mustang 2+2 65 Fastback. And let's just look some of the details on this one. The paint job is nice. They got the little Mustang logo, the Hot Wheels logo on there, the racing stripes, everything looking real good. I like that metal flake. Really kind of takes this car up a level. Just nice clean lines. So there we go. We've got the Mustang Fastback. Pulled that one out of storage, and that is ready to go. And so that is car number 1030. Time to see if I pulled another one out that is not currently in the fleet. Let's check for this one. Here's another one with the best for track. It's a Tesla Roadster, best for track. So let me go. I know we have a few Teslas in here. I do have I know that I picked up at some point a Cybertruck, but it's not, I'm pretty sure it's going to be too wide to go on the track. Let's see. Yep, we have a Tesla Roadster number 701, and I presume, I can take a look, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be identical to this one. I don't think they've come out with any kind of wild colors. 701. Let me guess if it's right in here. Yeah. 701. 701. Oh, see? It's good that I checked, because this Tesla Roadster is a convertible. And therefore, this one will be able to go in as the other Tesla Roadster. All right, and it's got the best for track. So we're starting off with two best for track cars. That's going to be interesting. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and crack open this other Tesla Roadster and see if this we're going to find out if this best for track designation doesn't mean anything. We're going to find out. All right, let's see what this car weighs. This Tesla Roadster is weighing in at 30.2 grams. And it's going to be interesting with this one because I've mentioned that most of these Hot Wheels cars, the bottom of the car, you know, they tend to have little, you know, they'll put little mechanical elements, little brackets and things like that. But with this Tesla, this Roadster, it is completely flat and clear on the bottom. But there's that symbol. There it is again, the best for track symbol that we just saw on the Mustang. And let's go ahead and I'll get my still picture first. And I'm glad that I checked. So I looked at the spreadsheet and saw that we had a Tesla Roadster, and I almost just assign this car to the prize bin. But it turns out the Tesla Roadster that we do have in the fleet currently is a Tesla Roadster, but it's a convertible. And we've seen when we put the cars in the wind tunnel that having a convertible or any kind of open driver's cockpit canopy area can trap air. And even if it doesn't trap the air, it is going to make it a little less aerodynamic, because we see that air comes over the windshield and gets down into the areas where the drivers would be, driver and passenger. And the air is not, even if the air comes back out, it's still a disruption in that airflow. And it's not helpful in the end. But we've got this Tesla Roadster, and aerodynamically, I like what I'm seeing, that kind of easy and smooth transition from the hood to the windshield to the roof line. And then at the roof line, what's interesting is it doesn't dip down too much. And that's something that we see with the BlitzSpeeder, and we've seen with a few other cars. And when there isn't a drop off from the back of the roof to the back of the car, then that airflow tends to stay connected to the car, which is a good thing. So we're going to see if that works in this car's favor. Plus, it has the best for track designation, which, we don't know if that means anything beyond marketing, but we will find out. So car number 1031, the Tesla Roadster, is in the fleet, and it is not the convertible. That is the other one. So yeah, this one, and with this car, I like the details. I like what they did with the headlights. That's just a sticker, but it gives sort of depth, like a 3D kind of look. Tesla logo right there on the front. Little license plate, little Roadster license plate. Tesla on the back. This should be interesting. Nice aerodynamic profile. I'll be kind of interested to see this one in the wind tunnel, especially if it does well. And let me just check this weight again. Yeah, it's definitely going to be cool to see this one in there. 30.2 grams, which I mentioned. I like seeing, we see often in the wind tunnel fantasy cars that have very good aerodynamic profiles, but it's not too often that we see regular cars with great aerodynamic profiles. That Porsche, Panamera, blah, 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 Turismo, etc., that Roughshod picked a couple of weeks ago, that one was great. That was one of the best, other than the BlitzSpeeder that we've seen. If I had to rank the top aerodynamic profiles that I recall seeing in the wind tunnel, it would be BlitzSpeeder at the top, then that Porsche, then that John Force Camaro funny car, and yeah, those would be the top three right there. All right, so far we're 2 for 2 with the cars that I pulled out of storage. Haven't found any duplicates yet. So now let's check this one. I like this car. This 80 El Camino. I know for a fact that we have El Caminos in the fleet, but do we have an 80 El Camino? I'm thinking we have a green one in there, but let's go ahead and check. Car number 922 is a 80 Chevy El Camino, and let's just be be clear and cautious and just double check, make sure. So 920, what did I say? It was 922, I believe. 80, yeah, 922. Let's take a look. Now, breaking these pages up does make it easier to find the cars, I will say that. 922, whoa, it's an art car. So, let's see, is there any significant difference between this art car El Camino and this one? Again, the wheels are different. I don't know that there's any real difference though, but I like El Caminos and I like this one, and if one El Camino is good, two's got to be better. So yeah, we'll put this in there. This 80 El Camino, I just like it, so it's going in. I made an executive decision. I like this one better than the art car. The art car is, I'm sure it's got an appeal to someone, just not me. But it's in the fleet, and now we're going to have this one, which is, I just like the look of this one. Don't know if it's going to be fast. No idea whatsoever, but let's crack it open. All right, this 80 Chevy El Camino Super Sport. Go ahead and check the weight. Feels heavy. 37.9 grams, which is heavier. It's on the heavy side, but it's not ridiculously heavy. So let's go ahead and check this one out and see if this is what it's all about. Oh, yeah, the Runsable, I'd be interested to see. So Christopher's saying that he might get his own Runsable and do a video review. Yeah, because what I'm interested to see is if on your Runsable, you have the same problem that I had, which is that the cars don't stay in the middle. The thing starts rolling when you get it working, and the cars move all the way, they move to one side, which I guess it doesn't really matter so much if you're just using the Runsable to look at the cars and rolling. But when I tried to use it with the Winsable, it's important that the car stays in the middle so that the air is hitting, the smoke streams are hitting right in the middle of the car and you can see what's going on. But it didn't work because the airflow is in the middle and the cars kept drifting off to one side. So I don't know if that's just an issue with the one that I had, or if it is something that other people have issues with. So yeah, Christopher, if you do get one, yeah, I'd definitely be interested to hear your thoughts about it. Hey, okay, never ending. How you doing? Oh, day off from work. Nice. Okay, so he's making his pick known, which is 619, the Rey Mysterio edition, maybe. All right, let me see. Let's get this 80 El Camino. This is the 80 El Camino. We'll give it the Super Sport. And let me see the manufacturing. This is actually, I didn't even talk about it much. Back end is flat. The front end, this is kind of probably going to be an issue right here, that this air is going to be building up against the front. This is what we see when we put the cars into the wind tunnel, is that cars with these big front ends, the air just kind of builds up there, and then it has to go over, under, around, which it does, but this just doesn't help the car at all. On some of the supercars and hypercars, we discussed how the real cars have openings so that even if there is a bigger frontal area, they have openings to control that airflow to bring it in either around the wheels, to direct it to the back part of the car, to cool off the engine, different things. But in the Hot Wheels version, there are not those openings. So if a car has a larger frontal area, it is just going to increase the amount of pressure at the front, the high pressure, and the drag will increase. But this car is already heavy, but I like it. It's just a good looking car. So it's in the fleet, and there we go. Hey, Caitlin, how you doing? Nice. We'll take a look at that car. Let me see. I better throw this in, have a little contrast, get a better look at the car. Get my photo here, and we will have car number 1032, the El Camino, 80s El Camino, half truck, half car, half amazing. It is probably not going to be sticking around for the finals, but it will be in the fleet. So we have the 80s El Camino, we have the Tesla Roadster, and we have the 65 Mustang Fastback. The Tesla and the Mustang both have the faster than ever, or I'm sorry, not faster than ever, best for track. They have the best for track designation, whatever that means. We still have yet to figure that out, but we are going to see if we can find another car that maybe that's what I have, because I just grabbed these out of the storage bin, and if two of them have the best for track, maybe I was on a best for track buying spree. I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna try another one out of the prize, or out of the storage, is this one, this 90 Acura NSX. I have a feeling we have one of these, but I'm gonna check. 90. Let's see. Yep, we have a 90 Acura NSX. It's car number 410. Let's go ahead and double check, because after what happened with that Tesla, there's no guarantee that it's not a significantly different type of car. Let's see. Acura 90. Oh, 410. This one right here. And it is pretty much the same car. Yeah, same car. Not all that different. So this one is going into the prize bin. So some student will get a chance to choose that car if they win a game, if they answer a question, if they have good citizenship, all of those things. They have the opportunity to go into the prize bin, pick a car. This one, let's see if I have this one. This is one that was a winner of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour in 2021. It is the Volvo P1800 Gasser. And let's see if this is in there. I think we only have, and I think we discovered this maybe, I don't know, about a month ago, that we really only had one Volvo in there, and it was the car that we introduced. It was the Volvo Drift Wagon. So, yeah, that's the only Volvo we have. Well, now we have two. We have the Hot Wheels Legends Tour winning car. It is the Volvo P1800 Gasser. And let's see what they have to say on the back here. Born in 2013 in Somerset, England, designer Lee Johnstone. Winner of the 2021 Hot Wheels Legends Tour, Lee Johnstone and his family restored this 1969 Volvo P1800 modifying it with a supercharged big block Chevy 454 V8 engine. At 133 miles per hour, this legend can tear up the track in an unsaintly 10.01 seconds. Okay, well, we have this car going in, Legends Tour winner. Let's crack it open. It is. Now, so I already see something very interesting, but let me check the weight first. The weight is 33.5 grams, which is not bad. Not bad at all. Switch over here, and let's take a look. So first thing that's interesting are the wheels on this car. It's got the wide sort of drag racing slicks on the back, and then it's got the skinny disc wheels at the front. They are not protected, so every time I get a car with this wouldn't really be an open wheel car, but those disc wheels are unprotected enough that we always have to, when I see one of those cars, we always have to remember Forky. And what can happen to cars with open wheel cars with disc wheels? They hit the barrier and crash, and then are never to be on the track again, because once that axle gets bent, there's nothing we can do to get it straightened out and get it track worthy. So every time I see one of these cars with disc wheels and the open wheel front, it's always kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best situation. But we'll see what happens with this one, the P1800 Gasser. Let me go ahead and get the still photo here. Turn it. It's kind of a cool looking car. I don't know. I forget about it. I guess it takes maybe about a year for them to get the Legends Tour cars made and out on the shelf. I have a couple. There's that big truck, the Auto Zam, I think it was called. I have that one, but it's too big to race on the track. Let's see, on the website. Yeah, that's it really just depends on your internet or Wi-Fi connection, but everything's loading up properly here. But I know, like right now, I'm kind of hardwired into the internet, but when I look things up, because I'll be in a store and I'll see a Hot Wheels car and I can't remember if I have it or not, so I'll have to look it up. And just depending on kind of the strength of my signal really depends on how easy or difficult it is to load up the cars and take a look. But everything is working properly, and breaking the cars up into multiple pages with fewer cars should help a little bit. All right, let's see the Volvo P1800 Gasser. So being that it's a gasser, it's got this stance where it is higher in the front, lowered at the back, and I don't know that is actually going to do all that much to help this car out, because that stance increases that frontal area. And I think this is going to be possibly one of the cases. We'll know when we put this in the wind tunnel on Wednesday, how much air is being forced underneath the car and how much is forced over the top. That engine sticking up is going to disrupt the airflow, and this is a cool car. It's unique, but I don't think there's nothing about this that suggests to me that on the track it's going to be anywhere near the finals. Now, could it beat the El Camino? Of the cars that we have so far, could it beat the El Camino? Maybe. I think that drag is going to eat this car alive and just slow it down. But I could be wrong, which is the great part. It's the thing I love most about racing these cars is we're looking at them, having ideas, thinking about what we've seen in the past, what we've seen in the wind tunnel, and trying to figure out what this car is going to do. But we don't know until we get it on the track. It could be a complete disappointment, although my expectations aren't that high, so it couldn't really be a disappointment. As long as it's not a Grogu. Grogu, the absolute worst car we've ever had on the track. Absolute embarrassment to the Hot Wheels name. That as long as you're not pulling a Grogu, you're okay. But I don't expect much from this car. But I've been surprised before, and we'll see if that happens again. Let me check the manufacturing year, 2007 on that El Camino. All right, so this has been pretty good. Pulled out 4 cars out of the prize bin, and only one has been a duplicate so far. This next one I just picked up. Where is it? It was kind of cool. I'm hoping I don't have one. I know we have a few different versions of this car, but I don't know if I have this one, but I saw this one. It is the Pantone 186, the Twin Mill 3. And so Pantone, I work as a graphic designer, and so Pantone colors, this table of colors so that you can have accurate colors across, printing. When you send things out to be printed, if you say I want it Pantone 186, they know that it's exactly going to come out this particular color. You could say Pantone 285, and that might be a green or something like that. And so we will see if this is, I know we have twin mills, we have super twin mills, we have twin mill 2s. The question is, do we have a twin mill 3? So now I am going to look, spreadsheet. We have the twin mill Gen E, the twin mill 2, and the twin induction. So we do not have a twin mill 3. We have a twin mill 2, twin mill Gen E, and now we're going to have this one, this Pantone. And apparently there are 5 other of these Pantone colored cars. There's a Nissan Fairlady Z, a 69 Mustang Boss 302, Porsche 934, Capo Camaro, and a cool Combi. So if you see any of these, I think I got this one at Target, but I don't know if it's Target exclusive or if they're everywhere. But anyway, let's crack this one open, see what we got. All right, this twin mill, is this going to be the twin mill that takes out the Champ? It's coming in at 34.3 grams, which is not bad. It's in that sweet spot. Although we've had cars that have kind of stretched the limits, tested that sweet spot idea. And the sweet spot is the weight range that is typically where the cars that do the best fall within. So it's usually between 32 and 36 grams that we find our fastest cars. However, we have had cars outside that range become fastest in fleet champion, and we've had cars, most recently the Hot Wheels roll cage, that was 20, I think it was about 28 grams. So it is entirely possible but we're looking at this. We've seen twin mills before, and this one is very similarly styled. Now, the engines, where they're sticking up on the side, are much more like fins. They're not sort of the big block engines that we've seen on some of the, like the original twin mill. So that might not disrupt the airflow as much as what we see with that car, with the original twin mill. The super twin mill and the twin mill, I don't remember what the twin mill 2 looks like offhand, but I remember thinking when I got the super twin mill, for whatever reason, I remember I was at Walmart and it was in one of those big Christmas displays, and I saw it, and I remember looking at it and thinking, this is the car that's going to end up fastest in fleet. And that apparently is not the case, because it probably at that time would have had to go up against the BlitzSpeeder, and it just apparently didn't beat it, because it never became fastest in fleet champion. If we look at the back end, this is interesting because the tires, the wheels, stick out beyond the back end, which means that the launching block is going to be pressed up against the wheel instead of the back of the car, the body of the car. What kind of impact does that have? It's hard to say, but it's definitely going to be different than what happens with some of the other cars. So let's go ahead and get the still picture here. And we are moving right along. Let's get this turned just a little bit. Right there. And get some fill light on this car. I like it. I know Target tends to have, they had a series of like red cars or something they were doing, but I like this one. This is this red and white. It's got a darker red, kind of maroon stripe here, little accents. I like this one. So nobody's picked it. The twin mill is just one that I guess if somebody's going to take credit, I guess I would take credit. It's one of the ones that I just picked up at the store, introduced brand new into the fleet, and we will find out if it's got enough of what it takes to let me check the year on this thing. The year is 2007. So there's a chance that I have, I mean, if they've been making these, apparently they have, that in one of my storage bins I have one, but I doubt it'll be this cool. I like this one. So we'll see what it does. So we have the Twin Mill 3. We have the Volvo Gasser. We have the 80 El Camino. We have the Tesla Roadster. And we have the 65 Mustang Fastback. So now we've got our cars that have been newly introduced into the fleet. And then Roughshot and Christopher, I have theirs picks, and I'm going to go and grab Caitlin and Neverending's cars. Let's see. So first, let's take a look before I go and grab those cars. Let me make sure I can see which ones I'm going to pick up. So Caitlin is looking at car number 208. So that will be, oh, okay, this Buzz Lightyear car. That is that's been a popular pick, and it's interesting because there are multiple Buzz Lightyear car there. When they came out with the Buzz Lightyear, so this is obviously the Toy Story inspired Buzz Lightyear car, and when they came out with that Buzz Lightyear movie, they had a whole other group of cars that they made, and one of them was a Buzz Lightyear car, which we have in the fleet, and that one's actually, at least two of those cars out of that group, really good looking cars, really fast on the track. I don't know that I think because they were premium cars, they were heavier, and so that probably worked against them. So we've got the Buzz Lightyear car, and then let's see, Never Ending is, he's going with the 619, that Rey Mysterio. Let's see, 619. The San Diego 61. Oh, the West Coast Flyer. Okay. The West Coast Flyer. This is very interesting because you've got this locomotive Hot Wheels car, and another one that we have in here that's another kind of sneaky fast car is the I forget the name, but it's basically the Thomas. It's styled like Thomas the Tank Engine. That's not what it's called, but that's how it's designed, and it's got the face on there. That one's particularly fast. So at some point we might have to have, although these might be the only two, we might have to have a train showdown. But we'll see here. So all right, so the Buzz Lightyear and the oh, thank you, Christopher. It is called the Locomotorin. Exact. Thank you. The Locomotorin. And let me see. It is, when my son was younger, he went through a phase where he was into Thomas, and those things are expensive. They're, at least back then, they were made of wood and metal, and they were very expensive. So I was very happy when he moved on from Thomas to, Power Rangers or whatever it was he got into next. Saved a little bit of money. Let's see here. 68. 68 is the one. 68 there. This one. That one is, it's a little fast. Let me see. 68. Let's see. Train. So we got the West Coast Flyer, and then Thomas is, let's see. Thomas is 68. I might pull that. We might end up, regardless of how the West Coast Flyer does, we might have to have a train versus train showdown. So, all right, I'm going to go and grab those cars, and then we will check those out, and then we'll be one step closer to heading to the track. I will be back in just a minute. The bathroom break music's coming up. It's not going to take me 5 minutes, but I'll be right back. excuse me, Christopher, the Market Go is number 686. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at these other cars that have been selected. So let's go ahead and look at this West Coast Flyer, which is weighing in at 36.5 grams. So it's not actually that, it's not that heavy. It's not as heavy as you might think it would be. So let's see what it looks like up close. What are we dealing with? So it is absolutely a train, but the back end flat, and that's going to be a key part, like right here, because that is what is going to press up against the launching block, and it's either going to be pressing up against this roof line there or against this flat red sort of connecting piece right there. Either way, it should get a good solid push. It seems to be wide. It's got, if we're talking about just the aerodynamics, it's got this big cylinder here, and that really shouldn't impede the airflow. But right here in the front, we're going to see what happens, because that airflow, that air is most likely, and we'll put this one in the wind tunnel on Wednesday as well, but the air is probably going to build up in the front. And then what happens from that point? Is it breaking away from the body? Is it directed up to follow along the lines here? And then when it gets to the back, to this sort of cab area, that's not going to be helpful. But this is another of those kind of classic never-ending picks it's so unique that I don't think a lot of the traditional rules apply. Obviously, the forces will, drag still applies, gravity still applies, friction still applies, but how they apply and what's going to happen with this car, who knows? So this is in the category of, he's picked tanks, he's picked airplanes, and now trains, planes, automobiles, whatever it is you want, we've got it. So we've got this, the West Coast Flyer, that is going to be in there. And the one, and so I pulled this anyway, just to take a look. And the Thomas, the Locomotorin, 39.4 grams. And we will have a train versus train showdown. This one is bigger. It's got huge wheels. Those are probably at the back end, those are probably the biggest Hot Wheels wheels that I've seen. Usually, like we've seen these size. These are the standard wheels, and we've seen a size larger than that. But these are really, I don't even have a car sitting around here to compare them to, or maybe it's just an optical illusion. So if we look at this, are these wheels? Let me see if these wheels are the same size. No. These are huge rear wheels. They are like, these wheels are big. Those are typically the wheels that we see when we're talking about bigger wheels. So you can see that this car has a regular size wheel in the front and a larger wheel at the back. But these wheels on the back of the Thomas, this Locomotorin, are huge. And we'll see how that plays into this train's performance. But a same thing with the West Coast Flyer. It's either the launching block is going to press up against this rim here, or it's going to press up against this little connection point. Let me focus it in. This little connection point at the back. So we'll see. Train versus train showdown is going to happen. And let's see. Caitlin, she went with this Buzz Lightyear car. And let's see what that weighs in at. That is coming in at 33.6 grams, so that is a good solid number. I'm trying to think when's the last. I know that this car it's definitely been picked by students. I don't know if we've seen it race on AtTheTrack.live. Aerodynamically, I don't see any problems with this car. It's not as heavy as some of the premium character cars tend to be, and it's got some unique elements, especially at this back end, that make it a little tough to predict, what's going to happen with this car. This is another one that I'd be interested to see in the wind tunnel. And actually looking at it, this car might be headed to the finals. Just looking at the other cars that are racing today, I will not be surprised if this Buzz Lightyear car makes it to the finals. This is I don't really see anything much wrong with this car. I like it. So we've got the Buzz Lightyear car, we have the West Coast Flyer, and then Christopher, he's going with the Ferrari F50. And as I mentioned on Wednesday, there's a new Ferrari F50 with the new line of Ferrari Hot Wheels that are out. This is not that. This is the older one. And this one is metal on metal. And it weighs in at 40.1 grams. And that is heavy. It had a good aerodynamic profile. It is the back end flat's going to press right up against that launching block, so it should get a good push. But that weight is likely to be an issue, especially at the back end of the track. If we see with this car, what I expect to see is what we see with heavier cars. They start off well, and then toward the back end of the track, they look like they're slowing down, and the other cars look like they're gaining speed, and they get past. The way to push that off is to have a great aerodynamic profile. This car had one. It had a very, very good aerodynamic profile, so if it can minimize the impact of drag, if it can get off to a good fast start, then it should be okay. But that weight's kind of tough. So we'll see what happens with that. This Ferrari F50 all metal. What's the manufacturing year? 1999. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. And then last but not least but not last, is the DAVancenator. I gotta keep checking to make sure I'm DAVancenator. DAVancenator is the car that Roughshod has picked. It's weighing in at a slim 30.8 grams. And this one is the one that it's kind of got a BlitzSpeedery feel to it. Now it's got a few more things, a little more odds and ends sticking up, like these little points here. Will that help direct the airflow? I don't know. The splitter does not raise or lower. It's in a fixed position. The air can flow underneath, but then there's some other little elements, like you can see kind of that green, well, if I put it in focus, you can see it. That green element. So there are things that are going to prevent the air from just flowing through that lower part, but the air that gets directed over the top, this is about as BlitzSpeedery as you can get. And until the air gets back to interact with these little elements here, it's pretty much a smooth airflow is what we saw on Wednesday. And we didn't really see anything that would be a cause of concern. So I like this car's chances. I think that we may be seeing this car. If I had to just guess right now, if I'm looking at it, this is tough because I think this car, if I saw this car and the Buzz Lightyear car in the finals, I wouldn't be surprised. But by the same token, I think the car to keep an eye on is that Tesla Roadster. And we also have to remember that the Tesla and the Mustang have the best for track designation, the little insignias. I don't know what that means. We haven't figured it out. We don't know if it's just marketing or if it actually is a meaningful difference. But either way, we're going to find out what these cars can do in just a moment. We are about to hit the track, and as always, just in case you just stumbled across this video and you're like, whoa, what are they doing? Here is what you are about to see. You are about to see our 3-camera track view. The cars are going to start at the top of the screen on the left. That is our start line. I am going to put the cars in the launcher. I'm going to give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race. I'll hit the switch. The cars will come firing out of the launcher. They will go from top to bottom, passing out of the bottom of the screen on the left, showing up at the top of the screen in the middle. They will go from top to bottom, passing out of the bottom of that screen and showing up at the top of the screen on the right, our finish line camera. And they will come down, they will cross the finish line, and the winning car will be indicated with a solid red light. A solid red light indicates the winning car. A flashing red light indicates the losing car. Solid red light, winner. Flashing red light, loser. The races are best 2 out of 3. After each race, the cars will switch lanes and go down again. The first car to take 2 races will move on. Then we have a situation where sometimes these cars crash. If a car crashes and leaves the track, no problem. We will just restart the race. If a car crashes but doesn't leave the track, well, that's just unfortunate, and that car has lost. That is about all of the information that you need to know. We are set. We've got our cars. We've got our track. I'm going to grab everything up, head over to the track, and I will see you there in 30 seconds. Okay, let me just check the audio. 1 2 1 2. All right, we are good to go. We have the track all set up. Double check the finish line. That's in order. Looking at these tripods, making sure they're not interfering with the track. They are not. We are set to go. We are going to jump right into it. We're going to get this we're going to start off with the trains. I am curious to see how these things perform. And to find out, I know that the Locomotorin, when it's been tested before, has been a fast vehicle. But is it fast enough? So here's what's interesting about the West Coast Flyer. The West Coast Flyer, even though it's a train, it's not tall enough that it needs the taller cover. The Locomotorin absolutely does. So we will go to our special hybrid acrylic cover, which has one side raised up and one side lowered so that we can accommodate cars of different heights. Make sure Thomas is good to go. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and get these cars lined up. Trains. And I like it because Never Ending picks these like no one And The Rock means no one would have picked the dogfighter. Like, nobody picks the dogfighter. I mean, they know now if they've seen the videos, but just looking at it, no one's ever picked it. Never Ending picked it, and it won. He picked the Super Stinger, and no, I don't know that one's been picked, and it won. It became our fastest in fleet car, I believe, for a minute there. Then he picked that Invader, I think it's called, the one, that tank with the 6 wheels. That didn't work out, but hey, you got to swing big and see what happens. All right, we are all lined up, ready to go. We have the Locomotorin, the Thomas the Tank Engine in lane 1. We have the West Coast Flyer in lane number 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. West Coast Flyer takes it and took it, looking good. Yeah, I changed the band this morning, and we are off to a good solid start. That was not close. This West Coast Flyer, we're gonna find out. If flip this around. It is. I was working on something else, and I just found I found an older video where I was talking about the process of how I came up and stumbled across needing and using this acrylic covers, and how before I had this, cars would just fly out of literally fly. They would just come flying out of the launcher, and I had to take all this slow motion video and really go back and assess exactly what was happening. And ever since we've put this acrylic covers, these in place, the incidence of cars crashing has been almost, I mean, it's been really, really low. There's very few cars that have needed to be disqualified, but there are cars that have had the Forky situation where their axles get bent and broken, and that is it. All right, here we go. This is race number 2. We've switched lanes. We've got the West Coast Flyer in lane 1. We've got the Thomas, the Tank Engine Locomotorin in lane 2. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Oh! Thomas put up a fight that time, but as you can tell from the solid red light, West Coast Flyer is the winner and took that race and will be moving on. Thomas, thank you for playing. That was a nice way. At least you put up a challenge there at the end. So, all right, Thomas headed back to the, I guess it wouldn't be the garage. Where do trains go? The station? The something. All right, Thomas is going back to the station. West Coast Flyer is just going to sit there and wait for the next challenger. We are going to look at, let's go, we'll go with the El Camino, and let's give these cars a shot. We'll go with the El Camino and the Gasser, because we really just need to, I think that just looking, these seem to me, just on appearance, to be the 2 weakest cars in the group. And so, putting them up against each other, at least one of these cars is gonna move on to the next level. All right, we've got the Gasser, the Volvo Gasser, the Legends Tour car winner, or Legends Tour winner, in lane number 1. We've got the 80s El Camino SS in lane 2. Now that Gasser does have the larger wheels at the back, the racing slicks, and then it's got the disc wheels at the front. I just wanted to stay on the track and avoid the barrier. So here we go. Race number 1. Volvo Gasser in lane 1, El Camino lane 2. Three, two, one, race. Look at the Gasser go. All right. So the Gasser takes that race, and we will see what happens when we switch lanes. But the Gasser may have been, well, it's hard to say. I don't want to jump to any conclusions about the Gasser and its speed. Let's see. How did I make the launcher? I actually designed the launcher using a program called Tinkercad, which is sort of a light version of AutoCAD, which is software that you can use to make 3D models. And it took a lot of trial and error, a lot of very precise measurements, and I eventually got the design, the final design, which is what I'm using here. This is actually, even this one is not the final. The final one is, I have another track that I use to test the speed of cars. That's right over there. And if you look at the video we put up about the Isaac Newton, how we beat the second law of motion with the funny cars, in that video there is a clip where you can see the speed track. So, all right, let's see. We've switched lanes. We've got the Gasser in lane 2. We have the El Camino in lane 1. Gasser's up 1 race to none. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. That was a good race. Look at the Gasser bouncing back to the first section. That is a good sign. That to me, the fact that the Gasser bounces back into this first third of the track is a good sign, because it tells me more than the fact that it won the race. The fact that it went down, hit the barrier, and bounced all the way back tells me that it actually had some speed to it, because if it was moving slowly, that wouldn't happen. So that is a good sign and something that we see from our faster cars. All right, the Gasser's moving on, and the El Camino is going to the garage. Next up, we're going to go, let's go with this Pantone car and Buzz Lightyear. So we're going with the Twin Mill 3 and the Buzz Lightyear car. The Buzz Lightyear car is one of those cars that it's just hard to get a read on, just because of the design. And the Twin Mill 3, we've seen the Twin Mill, we've seen the Twin Mill 2, and we've seen the Twin Mill Gen E, but now we've got the Twin Mill 3. How will it perform? Who knows? All right, Buzz Lightyear lined up in lane 2, Pantone 186, Twin Mill 3 lined up in lane 1, race 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Woohoo! Buzz Lightyear takes that race, bounces back, and that is 1-0. Oh, by the way, also, Christopher, that the software that I use, Tinkercad, is free, which is how I started using it, because I had never designed anything for 3D printing. So once you finish designing it there, then you can export a file that you can send off to be have printed, 3D printed, and that is what I did. Now, some of the pieces, so the main thing, like the launcher, I had to send out to I sent out to this company called Xometry, Xometry. But the smaller pieces, some of the smaller pieces, my library has free 3D printing, and you can just have the piece. I can have the pieces printed over there. It takes longer, and it's like they have a whole process you have to go through, but it's free. And if you have patience, they do that. So maybe a library near you also has 3D printing, so you can try out Tinkercad and then get some of your pieces printed. All right, we have switched lanes. We've got Buzz Lightyear in lane 1. We have the Twin Mill 3 in lane 2. Twin Mill 3, better pick it up. Here we go, race 2. 3, 2, 1, race. Wow, that was close. That came right down to the wire. I had to check the lights, but the solid red light tells the truth, and the winner is Buzz Lightyear. So Caitlin and the Buzz Lightyear car are moving on, and that is it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, there's lots of the 3D printing software and design software out there. It's I think all the fundamentals are kind of the same, so you use the basics and then kind of build up your skills from there. All right, let's see. We are going with the Christopher's Ferrari F50 against the Tesla Roadster. Now this is going to be a tough one for this Ferrari just because of the weight. That's my thinking. And the aerodynamic profile is of the Ferrari is very good. Problem for that, for the Ferrari, is that the profile on the Tesla appears to be just as good, if not better. So the Ferrari's going to have its work cut out for it. It's a heavier car. Came in at about 40 grams. This Tesla, I forget the weight, but it feels light. Tesla is in lane 1. The Ferrari is in lane 2. Race number 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh, man. The Ferrari. I'm gonna redo that race because when the launcher released, the Ferrari got caught up on the launcher. Like it hit really, it hit it really hard in a way that was unusual. I'm sorry, I take that back. Because the Tesla was in lane 1, the Tesla hit the roof in a very unusual way. Like all the cars touch it and go back down on the track, but this was like very unusual. Like it was it's hard to explain. It was like a crash. It was a very how do I explain it? I don't know. It just hit it a lot harder than cars typically do, and then it just kind of eased out of the launcher. It didn't come rolling out of the launcher like most of the cars. It was whatever happened right here at the beginning impeded the car's ability to move down the track. So we're just going to reset. Tesla, lane 1. Ferrari, lane 2. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And this was exactly what we predicted, is that the cars came out, the Ferrari was in the lead, the race was close, and then right at the end, around the last, third of the track, the Ferrari gave up some ground to the Tesla. And the reason why is that weight. The weight is going to result in exactly that. And we see it time and time again. And I think the fact that the Ferrari has such a great aerodynamic profile helps it stay competitive, but ultimately it's got to be able to hang on just a little bit longer. Otherwise, it is going to get caught at the end and pass. So cars are switching lanes. We have the Tesla in lane 2. We have the Ferrari in lane 1. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, so now the Ferrari has evened things up and held on to keep that lead. So now we are going to a third final race. We are going to find out if it's going to be the Ferrari or will it be the Tesla moving on. The Ferrari will now move back to lane number 2 and the Tesla will be in lane number 1. We will see. These are two good cars to race. Good cars to race. Very, very good aerodynamic profiles. The Tesla, I believe it to have a good profile. The Ferrari, we know it does. The question for the Ferrari is about that weight, and can it overcome the fact that it's significantly outweighs its opponent. So race number 3, Ferrari's in lane 2, the Tesla's in lane 1. Race 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Whew. And the Tesla took it. So we are now down to about, let's see, we've got, get that back into place. We have the Tesla, we have the Buzz Lightyear car, we have the Gasser, we have the West Coast Flyer, but we still have 2 cars that haven't raced yet, and they're about to hit the track now, and that is Roughshod's DAVancenator against this 65 Mustang Fastback with the Best for Track insignia and logo. So we're going to find out, does that mean anything? What does it mean? I don't know. The Tesla had it. Tesla won, but no guarantees around here. So you've got the DAVancenator, which is very, very much it's got a BlitzSpeedery feel. That's what I've been saying since Wednesday. It's just giving me that vibe. Is it gonna do the same thing on the track that the BlitzSpeeder does? I don't know. DAVancenator's in lane 2, Mustang Fastback in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Ooh. Look at that DAVancenator come all the way back, but it lost the race. That's the problem. How did it lose the race? The cars were close, and the DAVancenator also, like the Mustang slowed down towards the back end. DAVancenator was moving. I thought it was going to catch it and take that race, but it did not. So now we're going to have to see, can the DAVancenator take 2 races in a row? That has happened many times before, but we haven't seen it lately. We haven't seen lately a car coming back to take 2 races in a row. We've seen it in the past. We just haven't seen it lately. We're switching lanes. DAVancenator is in lane 1. This Mustang Fastback with the Best for Track designation, whatever that means, is in lane 2. Get these cars set up. And we are ready to go. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And the Mustang Fastback takes it and bounces back. So Best for Track is 2 for 2 as far as the races go. And the DAVancenator, it had a BlitzSpeedery feel, but it didn't have BlitzSpeedery results. And it goes down, And therefore, back to the garage. And we are locked in with our final 5 cars. We have the West Coast Flyer. We have the Volvo Gasser, the Tesla Roadster, and the Fastback. Let's go Gasser and Roadster and see what we get. Tesla versus Volvo. A showdown. The Gasser versus the Tesla Roadster. We had a Tesla Roadster in the fleet, but that Tesla Roadster was a convertible. This Tesla Roadster is not, and so far, so good. All right, we've got the Gasser in lane 2. We've got the Roadster in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Woo-hoo. That Gasser took it. And see, this is, I don't know how many, I'm always saying this, but it's why you have to race the cars. Because looking at the Gasser, I figured there's no shot for this car. It's got the disc wheels, it's got the kind of reverse, that Gasser stance, the front is all elevated, it's going to be just drag is going to eat this thing alive. Will it be able to stay on the track? Blah, 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 blah. And here it is, winning another race. But it's going to have to win again if it wants to move on and get closer to the winner's circle and a shot at the BlitzSpeeder, which is the ultimate goal. So if I can get this Gasser, doesn't want to stay put, I got to get it locked in. I got to get it pressed right up against the launching block, which it now is. We've got this Tesla Roadster ready. So Tesla Roadster, lane 2, Volvo Gasser, lane 1, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Tesla takes it. Another close race. We've had some good close races today, which is what I like. And now we're going to a third, final, and decisive race. We are going to see which of these 2 cars is going to move on. And it is next. I'm going to switch lanes. Gasser will be in lane 2, and the Tesla in lane 1. Race number 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Gasser takes it, and the Gasser was losing steam as it got on that back third, but the Tesla just couldn't close the gap. There wasn't enough track left. It just didn't have enough track left. If this car was maybe about 3 feet longer, then I think that the Tesla probably would have caught the Gasser, but it's not 3 feet longer. It is a 1/64th scale quarter-mile drag strip, which means it's just over 20 feet long. And that also means that the Gasser is moving on. So now, next up, let's go. Are we going to do this? Yeah, I think we're going to do it. We're going to go Never Ending versus Caitlin. We're going with the West Coast Flyer against the Buzz Lightyear. And we will see which of these 2 cars comes out on top. Who's it going to be? Who has the magic eye? Never Ending's got a history for picking these unconventional cars and having them do big things, but this Buzz Lightyear car is equally unconventional, and we're going to see which of these 2 comes out on top. The West Coast Flyer already beat Thomas the Tank Engine. It is in lane 1, And the Buzz Lightyear car is in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Buzz Lightyear taking it. About the midway point, Buzz Lightyear just kind of opened up, and there was no shot for the West Coast Flyer to get back in there and close the gap, or even it had given up too much ground, and so it was not going to close that gap. But we are now going to switch this around, change lanes, and see which of these cars is going to be moving on. And we've got the Buzz Lightyear car set up in lane 1, and we have the West Coast Flyer in lane 2, race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. The race was closer, but the light doesn't lie. Buzz Lightyear takes it, so Caitlin is moving on. Her car will be in the finals. The question is, which car will it be taking on? Will it be taking on the Mustang Fastback, or will it be taking on the Gasser? So we're going to have Buzz Lightyear sit there, and the West Coast Flyer can join Thomas in the station. And we are going to find out if this best for track Mustang Fastback is going to be representing in the finals, or if it will be the Volvo Gasser. The surprising Volvo Gasser. It's definitely been the surprise car of the day, because my expectations were absolutely at rock bottom. We've got the Volvo Gasser in lane 2. We've got the Mustang Fastback in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. That Gasser, wow. I can't tell if it's BlitzSpeeder fast, but it's fast enough that it's still very surprising. But that's just one race. It's got to win 2. So we're going to switch the Gasser over to lane 1 and see what it can do. Can it make it a clean sweep and get to the finals? Or are we going to have a third and final race? Is the Mustang going to show us that best for track designation isn't just for looks, isn't just for marketing, isn't just a gimmick? The Mustang is in lane 2, the Gasser is in lane 1, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Mustang is not going out without a fight. The Mustang takes race number 2 pretty clearly, and we're going to see if that holds up. And we are going to a race number 3. We haven't had too many of those recently. We've had some today, which is good, because we want to see which car is the car. So now the Gasser is lining up in lane number 2. The Mustang Fastback's in lane number 1. We are gonna find out which car is gonna meet Caitlin in the finals. So here we go. Mustang lane 1, Gasser lane 2, race 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. It's the Gasser. So we've got the Gasser versus Buzz Lightyear in the finals. And this is going to be pretty interesting, because the Gasser, at this point, the Gasser is just playing with house money, because, as far as I'm concerned, because I had no expectations of this car. None. Didn't expect it to be here. I thought that the El Camino might beat it in the first round. That's why I put it up. But hey, here we are. The Gasser is in lane 1. Buzz Lightyear is in lane 2. We're ready to go. Race number 1. Here we go. Buzz Lightyear lane 2. Gasser lane 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Buzz Lightyear hung on and took that race. The Gasser was bouncing around just a little bit. It was bouncing around the track kind of side to side a little bit, but it could not catch the Buzz Lightyear car. So we are now all ready to get lined up again. We are going to watch your fingers on this thing. Got it lined up. We have Buzz Lightyear sliding over to lane number 1. And we have the Gasser in lane 2. Race number 2, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. The Gasser pulls it out. Lane 2's been lucky. All right, so we've got the Gasser taking a race. We have Buzz Lightyear, and it is 1-1. We're going to this third race to find out which of these cars is going to take it, which of these cars is going to be challenging the BlitzSpeeder. Buzz Lightyear. And there are multiple, like I said, there's multiple Buzz Lightyear cars that we have in the fleet. This may be the fastest of them all. I don't remember how the other ones performed, but this one's holding its own, more than holding its own. It's right here, one race away from being today's champion. So we're going to see how this works out. We've got that Buzz Lightyear car lined up in lucky lane number 2. Going to see if that holds up. The Gasser's in lane 1. Race 3, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Oh. Buzz Lightyear to the finish line and beyond has taken this tournament. Buzz Lightyear and Caitlin's pick is today's winner. And now we are going to see if Buzz Lightyear can knock off and knock out the BlitzSpeeder. We know that that's a tall order, and we've seen cars that have looked fast in their races come out on top and then face the BlitzSpeeder and then just get destroyed. Will that be the case, or is Buzz Lightyear about to shake up the whole situation once again? We have the BlitzSpeeder, our fastest in fleet champion, 4-time fastest in fleet champion, in lane 1. We have the Buzz Lightyear car in lane 2. This is race number 1 for the fastest in fleet title. BlitzSpeeder versus Buzz Lightyear. Race 1, here we go. Oh, the Buzz Lightyear car rolled away from the launching block. Get that put into position. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Wow. I mean, we were having a nice, pleasant, friendly day of racing. We were having competitive races. We were going down to third and final races. Things were close. We had to check the end to see which car lit up the winner's light first. All of those things. Lane number 2 was lucky. All of that. And the BlitzSpeeder comes around and just ruins the fun. It absolutely blew the doors, the windows, the wheels, the bumpers, everything off that Buzz Lightyear car. But it's just one race. We're going to see if the Buzz Lightyear car can come back and handle its business and force a third and final race. But that beating was so decisive and dramatic, I'd be shocked if we saw anything different. But hey, we got to run the races. So race number 2, we've got the Buzz Lightyear car in lane 1. We've got the BlitzSpeeder in lane 2. Fastest in fleet title on the line. Buzz Lightyear needs to take a race. Otherwise, it's the BlitzSpeeder again. So here we go. Three, two, one, race. So the Buzz Lightyear car didn't get beaten by as much. It was a little more respectable, but nevertheless, the BlitzSpeeder did what the BlitzSpeeder does and is still our fastest in fleet champion. I'm going to grab these cars up, head back in the garage, and we'll take a look at the winners, the losers, and what's coming up. So once again, the BlitzSpeeder is our fastest in fleet car. It is just, it's just an animal on the track. I mean, there are not many cars who have given it even a somewhat close race. The last one to really just beat this car down, the Dogfighter. We know the Dogfighter can do it. And like I said, I believe it was that Mercedes-Benz 500E that also beat it. But the BlitzSpeeder is just, it takes a very special car to beat it. But we did have, despite all of that, I think the most interesting car of the day, the surprise, was this one. This Gasser. And I can't wait to put this in the wind tunnel on Wednesday, because I really thought that with the stance this car had, I thought that with the engine sticking up out of the top, I thought just the poor aerodynamic profile of this car would prevent it from doing well on the track. But it did very well and got to the finals. But ultimately, it was beaten out, and we're still going to put it in the wind tunnel and just see what we see. So sometimes we have the reverse. Sometimes we see the cars perform on the track first, then we put them in the wind tunnel and see if what we see in the wind tunnel kind of matches up with what we saw on the track. And then in other cases, we see cars in the wind tunnel first, and then we have to see what they can do on the track. So I see Christopher is going to be looking at car number 827 and car number 667 for Wind Tunnel Wednesday. And that is every Wednesday at 4 p.m. We take these cars, we put them into the Funtech Labs 1/64th scale wind tunnel, the Winsible, and we just take a little bit of a deeper, kind of a little more scientific kind of approach and look at what we're seeing with the cars in terms of drag and airflow, and then trying to use that information to make predictions about what we see on the track. Or in the case of the gasser, we've seen it on the track. Now we're going to put it in the wind tunnel, see how that matches up. So maybe the aerodynamics of this car are better than what I thought. But there's something to this car that allowed it to perform as well as it did on the track. So we have those cars lined up. And if you want to see a car, if there's a car you want to see in the wind tunnel, then join us every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch for Wind Tunnel Wednesdays. Same process, just go to AtTheTrack.live, select choose your car, and then find the number of the car you want to see. Take that, drop it into the chat, and then I will pull that car and we'll put it in the wind tunnel. And once you make a decision, so Christopher has 2 cars lined up, he's going to make a decision, and one of those cars will be the one that's going to be here next Saturday, ready to race, ready to roll. We're going to see if we can knock off the BlitzSpeeder. That is the goal now. That is the goal. The BlitzSpeeder has the target on its back. That is the car that we're trying to knock off. So we've got 1,035 cars to choose from. One of them's got to be faster, I would think. Maybe. But on Never Ending's track, the BlitzSpeeder did well. And he's got a gravity track. There's twists and turns. The BlitzSpeeder still did well. It wasn't as completely dominant as it is on our track. Different factors come into play, but it's still a dominant car. I saw it. There's another channel that had gravity track races, and the BlitzSpeeder was in there, and it didn't win, but it did very well. So the BlitzSpeeder is just a good car, but on our track, it's just next level. So we'll see if we can take it out next week, and we will be here. Again, if you want more information about our science program, just visit our website, aaerodynamics.com, or follow us on Instagram. Other than that, I am Coach James, and for Wind Tunnel Wednesdays, for All About Aerodynamics, and for At The Track Live, I will see you at the races.